When a woman starts developing real feelings, she doesn't always say, I love you first, but her words shift. She begins revealing emotional investment without even noticing. Today, I'll show you the 7 things a woman will naturally say when she's catching feelings, so you don't miss the signs or overthink them. When a woman begins to develop real feelings for someone, she doesn't always express it directly. Instead, her emotional attachment slips through her language in ways that might seem casual on the surface, but hold deep meaning underneath. Women are naturally more expressive emotionally, yet when real feelings are involved, they become more intentional, more careful, and more sincere in the way they speak. Her words start carrying emotional energy, softness, curiosity, and depth. She's not declaring love yet, but she is revealing it slowly, hoping you'll notice without forcing the situation or risking rejection too soon. In the early stages, this subtle emotional language often comes out as concern and care disguised as everyday questions. Instead of just asking, "How are you?" she asks, "How was your day? Did you sleep well? Have you eaten?" These aren't robotic questions. They come with emotional investment. She wants to know how you feel, how life is treating you, and whether you're taking care of yourself. When a woman cares about your well-being, this is emotional attachment showing through her tone and attention. She doesn't just want updates, she wants to connect with you on a deeper emotional level. She also starts using language that shows admiration and appreciation. Instead of a simple "that's good," she might say things like, "I really admire the way you handle things," or "I love how you think." She highlights your qualities, your decisions, your mindset. Women don't compliment deeply unless they feel something strong inside. This kind of language means she sees value in you beyond surface attraction. She recognizes your emotional strength, your intelligence, your patience, things she wouldn't highlight unless she was paying attention and feeling drawn to who you are as a person. You'll notice her language becomes more emotionally open too. She might share little vulnerabilities, not huge ones yet, but small glimpses into her personal world. She begins saying things like, "Sometimes I overthink," or "I get nervous about trusting people," or "I don't say this to many people, but..." This isn't just conversation, it's emotional testing. She's opening the door slightly to see if you walk through with understanding, empathy, and care. When she lets you into emotional spaces before anyone else, that's a sign she sees you as safe and emotionally significant. You may also notice that she expresses curiosity about your inner world. She doesn't just ask what you're doing, she asks why you think a certain way, how something made you feel, what your dreams and fears are. Emotional curiosity is a major sign of interest. When a woman wants to understand how your mind and heart work, she's not just chatting, she's bonding. She wants to align emotionally, not just socially or casually. This comes from a place of wanting to build something meaningful, not temporary. Sometimes her emotional language appears through anticipation and future-leaning hints. She might say things like, "We should try that place someday," or "You'll have to show me that," or "I want you to meet my friends eventually." These aren't commitments, they're emotional invitations. She's subtly imagining you in her world and checking if you'll step into that vision with her. Future talk reveals attachment before the word feelings is ever mentioned. Women express feelings gradually, through tone, concern, warmth, curiosity, admiration, and small emotional disclosures. Her language becomes a bridge between where you are now and where she hopes the connection can grow, built carefully and emotionally, not rushed or forced. When a woman begins to develop real feelings for someone, her language naturally shifts from present moment conversation to future-focused hints. She may not directly confess her emotions, but her words start to include you in plans, experiences, and possibilities beyond today. This doesn't happen randomly. It happens when she sees you as someone who could matter in the long run. Women rarely speak about the future with someone they do not feel emotionally safe with or emotionally drawn to. So when her sentences begin to include "we" instead of only "I," she isn't just speaking, she is revealing where her heart is moving, even if she hasn't fully admitted it to herself yet. One of the first signs of this shift is when she casually talks about shared activities. She may say things like, "We should go there someday," "You have to try this place with me," or "We need to watch that movie together." These are not random suggestions, and they are emotional invitations. She is imagining experiences with you and placing you beside her in moments she considers enjoyable, relaxing, or meaningful. Women don't mentally picture someone in their future unless they feel something growing inside. Even a simple "we should grab coffee next week" carries emotional intention. She wants more time with you, not just now, but again and again. Another strong indicator is when her future talk reflects her values and life goals. She might start sharing dreams, future plans, and priorities not just to inform you, but to see if they align with yours. Conversations about where she sees herself in a few years, the kind of lifestyle she wants, career ambitions, or her views on relationships and family may start becoming more frequent. This isn't random sharing, it's emotional compatibility scanning. She wants to understand whether you could fit into the life she envisions and whether she fits into yours. A woman who is emotionally invested doesn't waste emotional energy where there is no alignment. She begins exploring the future with depth and curiosity. You might also notice she begins asking about your future. She asks where you see yourself, what your goals are, what you want from life, what kind of partner you hope for, and what you value. She isn't interrogating, she is emotionally mapping. Women don't plan feelings, they feel them and then make sure those feelings make sense. So when she asks you these things, it means she cares about who you are becoming, not just who you are right now. She wants to know if she can grow beside you, support you, and build something meaningful together without directly admitting that desire yet. Another subtle sign appears in her jokes and light remarks. Sometimes she may joke about travel plans, future date ideas, or even playful comments like, "When we're old, we'll still argue about food," or "One day you're going to tell people I discovered you." Joking about the future often masks genuine feelings. It's a safe emotional testing ground. She offers a glimpse and watches how you respond. If you respond warmly, it gives her silent reassurance. If you dismiss it, she will pull back emotionally. So her humor often becomes a soft-spoken bridge between her heart and her hopes. You may also notice she begins involving you indirectly in her personal world. She could mention introducing you to friends someday, talk about events she'd like to take you to, or ask how you feel about things that matter to her socially or culturally. This is not her rushing commitment. This is her checking emotional partnership potential. Women do not casually imagine integrating a man into their circle unless the feeling is real. Her words reflect a desire not just to enjoy you privately, but to connect you with parts of her life that hold value and meaning to her. Future-oriented language is one of the most authentic signs of emotional investment in women. While she may not say, "I have feelings for you," her words quietly express a deeper truth. She doesn't just enjoy you now, she feels drawn toward a future where you continue showing up in her life. Her heart leads first, and her language follows slowly, softly, and sincerely, revealing the connection she is beginning to see beyond the present moment. When a woman starts developing real feelings, one of the most genuine signs isn't grand romantic gestures, it's vulnerability. Women do not open their emotional world casually. They reveal small pieces of themselves slowly, only to someone they trust emotionally. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is a sign of emotional significance. When she begins expressing her inner thoughts, fears, past experiences, insecurities, and hopes, she is allowing you into a space she normally protects. Her vulnerability becomes the bridge where genuine connection forms, and it is one of the clearest indicators that her heart is silently moving toward you. In the beginning, vulnerability might appear in subtle ways. She shares light personal details, things she wouldn't bother telling someone she sees as temporary or unimportant. She might mention moments from her childhood, challenges she has overcome, personal habits, or emotional tendencies. These small stories may look like casual conversation, but they reflect inner trust. She is offering parts of her private world because she feels safe enough with you to expose pieces of her identity she doesn't show to everyone. Her sharing is not random. It's an emotional gesture that says, "I feel comfortable letting you see who I really am." As feelings deepen, she begins to open up more sincerely. She may talk about things that shaped her, wounds she is still healing from, lessons she learned from past relationships, or struggles she has silently faced. She might say things like, "Sometimes I feel like I'm not enough," "I get scared of trusting people," or "It takes me time to let someone in." These aren't just statements, they are emotional confessions. When a woman exposes her emotional side like this, she is not seeking sympathy. She is offering trust. She is allowing you to witness her humanity, not just her polished surface. This level of openness means she sees you as emotionally meaningful. Along with this emotional sharing, she may begin expressing her fears and expectations about relationships. She might talk about what loyalty means to her, what hurts her, what she values in a partner, and what kind of emotional environment she hopes to build in her life. She is not doing this to control or test you. She is aligning her emotional world with yours. When a woman shares her relationship values honestly, she is showing that she sees you as someone who might become an emotional part of her future, and she wants to make sure the connection is safe, healthy, and mutual. Vulnerability also appears through the way she reacts to emotional situations. A woman who feels emotionally drawn to you will start seeking comfort in you when she's upset or overwhelmed. She might say things like, "I feel drained today, I needed someone to talk to," or "I don't usually share this with people," but she lets you see her emotional lows, not only her highs. Opening up during emotional weakness is one of the strongest indications of real attachment. She trusts that you won't judge her, dismiss her, or use her vulnerability against her. That trust is not earned lightly. It is offered when feelings begin to grow. Sometimes vulnerability shows in the way she asks for reassurance. She might gently express uncertainty, fear of losing the connection, or insecurity about the future. She may check in emotionally, ask where she stands, or reveal her desire to feel valued and understood. Women do not seek reassurance from someone they don't care about. They do it when they feel emotionally invested and afraid of being misunderstood or losing closeness. Her vulnerability in seeking emotional clarity is a sign that the connection matters deeply to her. This emotional openness gradually shapes intimacy. Not physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy, the deeper bond where two people truly see each other. When a woman chooses to reveal her inner world, she is offering trust, depth, and emotional honesty. She is inviting you into a space where she hopes connection can grow, not through perfection, but through authenticity and shared emotional truth. When a woman begins developing real feelings, her compliments shift from surface level to soul level. In the early phases of attraction, she may acknowledge your looks, your style, or your presence. But once emotions start forming, she begins noticing who you are, not just how you look. Her admiration evolves into appreciation for your character, your values, your integrity, your maturity, your patience, your work ethic, your emotional strength. Women do not admire these qualities casually. Admiration at this depth reflects emotional connection and genuine interest in who you are internally, not just the outer shell you present to the world. This shift in admiration often starts quietly. Instead of complimenting your clothes or haircut, she may say things like, "I really respect how you handled that. You think so deeply," or "The way you treat people says a lot about you." These are not meaningless lines. They are emotional mirrors reflecting how she sees you as a man and as a human being. Women who are emotionally invested pay attention to your decision making, your reactions to stress, your kindness, your boundaries, your discipline, and your emotional intelligence. They admire what stands behind your appearance, your heart, your mind, your character. Another sign is her noticing the little things about how you carry yourself. When she points out things most people overlook, how you speak to elders, your patience in frustrating situations, your ability to stay composed, your consistency in your goals, your loyalty to your friends and family, it means she is paying attention with intention. Women don't analyze character unless their heart is involved. She watches how you show up, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Admiration rooted in your behavior is a powerful sign that she sees you as someone who has depth, stability, and emotional maturity. You may also see admiration in the way she quotes you or references your words later. Maybe you gave her advice once, shared a perspective, or said something insightful, and she brings it up again. She remembers what you say because your voice matters to her. She trusts your reasoning and values your guidance. This isn't flattery, it's emotional respect. When a woman holds on to your words, it's because those words made her feel grounded, understood, inspired, or safe. She doesn't just listen, she internalizes, and that means you matter to her on an emotional level. At times, her admiration shows in comparison statements, not unhealthy comparisons, but sincere ones like, "Not everyone thinks the way you do," or "You really stand out," or "Most people don't handle situations the way you do." These statements reflect that she sees you as rare, valuable, and someone who carries qualities she doesn't encounter often. Women don't see a man as unique unless their heart recognizes something special in him. This admiration is less about being impressed and more about being emotionally drawn to the person you are inside. You will also notice subtle pride in her tone when she talks about you. She may brag about you to others without you asking, or she might mention you in conversations in a way that paints you in a positive light. When a woman speaks proudly of who you are, not your status, not your looks, but your principles and personality, it reflects emotional attachment. Pride in your character means she sees you as someone worth valuing, someone with depth, someone worth holding on to. Sometimes admiration appears in how she feels inspired around you. She may tell you that you motivate her, that your discipline pushes her to do better, that your kindness makes her feel safe, or that your vision encourages her to think bigger. Women don't feel inspired by men they don't emotionally connect with. Inspiration is a sign she sees you not only as a partner, but as a source of growth, stability, and emotional uplift. At its core, admiration for character is one of the clearest emotional signals a woman gives. Romantic interest rooted in personality, values, and integrity reflects a deeper connection, one built not on infatuation, but on genuine emotional recognition of who you are when no one is watching. When a woman begins developing genuine feelings, her curiosity about you changes. She no longer asks surface level questions just to keep conversation flowing. Instead, she asks questions that reveal who you are as a person. Women don't invest emotionally in mystery, they invest in understanding. When her questions become thoughtful, intentional, and emotionally layered, it shows she is not just interested in a conversation with you, she is interested in you. This shift is subtle at first, but grows stronger as her feelings deepen. The more she cares, the more she wants to know the real you beyond the outer persona you show to the world. In the beginning, these meaningful questions might sound simple. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Or what kind of music relaxes you? But while they appear casual, they serve a deeper purpose. She is mapping your emotional world, not just your preferences. She wants to understand your comfort zones, your passions, your happiness triggers, your stress escapes. Women rarely invest emotional curiosity in a man they do not feel drawn to. If her questions go beyond routine talk, she is already emotionally paying attention. As her feelings develop, her questions naturally deepen. She begins asking about your childhood, your family, your upbringing, and the experiences that shaped you. She wants to know what made you who you are, not what you pretend to be. She may ask, what was your biggest challenge growing up? Or who influenced you the most? Or what did your childhood teach you about relationships? This isn't interrogation. It is emotional exploration. She is trying to see your roots, your emotional wiring, your resilience, and your sensitivity. Women don't seek emotional history unless they care about emotional future. She will also move toward understanding your emotional side. She may ask, what stresses you the most? Or how do you handle disappointment? Or what do you do when you feel overwhelmed? These questions aren't random, and they reveal whether you are emotionally mature, self-aware, and stable. A woman developing feelings wants to know if she can connect with you on the emotional level that matters most to her. She isn't just looking for a man who looks good, she is looking for a man who feels right emotionally. Another sign is her curiosity about your dreams, goals, and vision. She asks, where do you see yourself in a few years? Or what are you working toward right now? She wants to understand the direction of your life, not because she is judging it, but because she wants to know if she can walk beside you without losing herself. A woman who asks about your future isn't trying to pressure you. She is trying to see if there is space for her in that future, even if she never says it aloud. She might also ask deeper philosophical or personal belief questions. What does loyalty mean to you? How do you define love? What scares you in relationships? These kinds of questions show she cares about emotional alignment. Women do not ask questions about values and emotional principles unless their heart is involved. She's not collecting facts. She's discovering compatibility. Her emotional curiosity reflects that she sees potential connection, not a temporary interaction. Even in light conversations, she listens closely and asks follow-up questions. She remembers what you said before and brings it up later. She connects pieces of your personality, interests, and fears like someone building a meaningful understanding. When she values your emotional world, she doesn't just hear you, she studies you gently, respectfully, and sincerely. Women don't study men they don't emotionally invest in. Her questions are a sign she is emotionally stepping closer, learning how your heart works, and hoping you will let her in further. Her meaningful questions aren't just about gaining information, they are about building trust, creating emotional safety, and forming a deeper bond. A woman only invests this kind of attention when she feels something real growing inside her. Her curiosity is the language of her attachment, expressed not through confession, but through sincere effort to understand who you are on the inside, beyond the surface the world sees. When a woman begins to genuinely develop feelings, her words start showing where you stand in her emotional world. She begins to verbally prioritize you, not in dramatic or exaggerated ways, but in subtle, authentic expressions that reflect real emotional value. Women do not give attention, time, and emotional energy to someone they see as temporary or insignificant. If she is catching feelings, you will hear it in the way she acknowledges your presence, seeks your presence, and expresses appreciation for the role you play in her life. Her language shifts from casual interest to meaningful recognition, revealing that your existence holds weight for her. One of the first signs of this shift is when she expresses the importance of spending time with you. Instead of simply accepting plans, she may say things like, "I always enjoy being around you. I feel calmer when you're here," or "Talking to you makes my day better." These are emotional truths disguised as casual statements. Women do not say they enjoy someone's presence unless that presence matters to them on a deeper level. She is not just acknowledging your time, she is acknowledging the emotional comfort and happiness you bring into her life. Along with this, she may start prioritizing communication with you. She doesn't just respond, she initiates, she checks in, she remembers little things you told her, she reaches out when she hasn't heard from you. She says things like, "I wanted to talk to you," "I missed hearing your voice," or "I feel better after our conversations." These expressions reflect emotional attachment. Her day feels incomplete without some connection to you, and she isn't afraid to voice that. When you matter, she doesn't wait for you to call. She makes the effort because your presence has become a source of emotional balance for her. You may also hear her acknowledging your support and influence in her life. She might say, "I really appreciate you being there. You always make me feel understood," or "I don't say this often, but you matter to me." These aren't dramatic declarations, they are emotional confessions delivered softly. Women express gratitude when they value someone deeply. When she speaks this way, she is recognizing that your presence adds something meaningful to her world: stability, care, understanding, emotional security, or simple happiness. Another sign of verbal prioritization is when she seeks your opinion and values your perspective. She doesn't just ask random questions, she genuinely wants to know what you think. She might say, "What do you think I should do?" Or "I trust your advice," or "Your opinion matters to me." Women don't prioritize the thoughts of men they don't respect or feel emotionally close to. If she trusts your perspective, it means she sees you as someone whose judgment she values, someone she feels aligned with, someone she believes can guide her, support her, or simply understand how she thinks and feels. You will also notice that she expresses a desire to share life moments with you, big or small. It could be as simple as, "I wanted to tell you first," or "I wish you were here," or "It would be fun if you came with me." These statements are emotional invitations. She wants you included, not because she needs company, but because experiences feel better, safer, or more meaningful when you are part of them. She is not just living her life, she is imagining you inside it and expressing that desire naturally. Sometimes verbal prioritization appears in her supportive or protective tone. She might say things like, "Take care of yourself," "Don't overwork yourself," "Text me when you reach home," or "I worry about you when you disappear." This isn't control, it's concern. Women protect emotionally valuable connections. When she says these things, she is emotionally investing in your well-being, signaling that your safety, happiness, and peace matter to her personally. When a woman values your presence, her words begin to carry warmth, concern, appreciation, and emotional gravity. She doesn't just like you being around, she feels life become a little better when you are, and she isn't afraid to let that truth slip through her voice, her tone, and her heartfelt expressions.